Yeah, I got it. To tell you the truth, I wasn't sure if it was Rena or Mion. The answer is always Mion. In a match of who's better, Mion. Every time. Who's the worst person? Rena. So you gambled? How risky. It doesn't matter how he won. What matters is that he won. Oh, Rena. Welcome back. What took you so long? Mion notices Rena has come back. Rena looks exhausted. Mion's still the greatest friend ever. I have no idea what she talked about with the visitor, but I can easily assume it wasn't something fun. Rena, are you okay? What? What's okay? What? I'm talking about you. You look pale. Are you sure you're okay? Oh, she cares about people so much. Oh, how could anyone ever fucking kill her? Rena tried to convince us she was fine, but her face clouded over for a moment and she decided to leave early. You know, even in like the first chapter when like Keiji killed Mion and all that, which it might not even be Mion, it could have been Shion, I never know. That's still up in the air. Just saying. Hopefully my crazy wild conspiracy, if that was Shion instead. God, that would make me so happy. I don't appreciate that killing. Even though she was gonna probably inject him with that drug to make him claw out his throat, even though he did. So, either way, I don't appreciate it at all. It makes me sad. I mean, I'm sure we can have a logical conversation about this. Actually, no, I would have taken the fucking pacifist route on that. It's like, nope. Nothing wrong's here. Everything's all golden. I wouldn't have suspected her. I wouldn't have lied to her. All that stuff. You know, I wouldn't have made her cry as well because he did that in the first game too. Just, you know, all the great stuff. I shouldn't have forced her to join the game. I regret it a little bit now. No, it's not your fault. Blame the visitor. Rena probably forced herself to play with us even though she wasn't feeling good at all. Rena puts her stuff in her bag, apologizes to us for leaving early, and leaves the classroom. Well, she's gone now. I guess we have to keep playing until we have the loser. That's right. Whose turn is it? Me. Okay, Rika. Come on. First of all, I wasn't so close to Mio. I knew her, so I bowed whenever I saw her on the street. Okay. Nice text color change from purple or pinkish purple. So I assume that the farther she goes into insanity, the tone shift of it is a little different. But that was about it. I never really talked to her except for the one time. It was only recently that I sat down and talked to her for the first time. It was between the day of the Watanagashi Festival and the day I was caught in the act of burying Rina and the man by Keiji and my other friends. I had a phone call from the library that evening. I was told that my father needed to return the book he borrowed. He was shopping at the home improvement store, so I went to the library to return the book for him. While I was there, I thought about borrowing some books for myself, and I started walking around the library. I saw her there. Ugh. God, she pisses me off sometimes. Oh, Reina. Hello. Mio. Hello. I didn't expect to see you here. Really? I was going to say the same thing. I always spend time here, and I've never seen you. She smiled in a very attractive and charming way that only mature women can do. Again, not attractive. God damn. Every single fucking woman they say, oh, very attractive. No, they're not. Her smile doesn't show any sign that she knew her death was just a few days away. Rip. She told me that she often met with Tomitake here. That's kind of weird. It seemed like she had some time to kill. She told me she wanted to buy me a drink. I had nothing to do after that. I let her buy me a canned iced milk tea from the vending machine in the library, and we talked for a while. Now that I come to think about it, it was ironic. She talked about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. She didn't know that she was going to be the victim of its fifth year. God. Get fucking pranked. The series of mysterious deaths. You've heard about it at least once, haven't you? 4 years ago, the manager of the damn construction site was murdered. 3 years ago, Mr. and Miss Hojo died. 2 years ago, Mr. and Mrs. Furude died. And last year, Satogo's aunt, and the series of mysterious deaths made 4 victims so far. So it'll be the 5th year in a few days. I've heard about it, but you don't know for sure that somebody will die this year. I do. Someone will die in a few days for sure. There's the old saying, with only 2 without 3. Why only 2 without 3? Never heard of that, but sure, whatever. Don't you think it sounds more convincing if you hear, why only 4 without 5? No, it doesn't. Mia was convinced that the 5th mysterious death was going to happen, but she didn't know she was going to be the 5th victim. I can say that it's ironic and also that it's a creepy coincidence. Well, not necessarily, I mean, she fucking has a hard-on for it anyway, so why wouldn't it happen? But there was always something creepy about her. I don't know why them, though. Because it wasn't due to them sneaking into the storehouse that they were punished. So why them? She maybe knew that she was going to be killed in a few days, but she still managed to make the mysterious smile. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Of course I know about it. I've lived here for more than a year. Every year on the day of the Watanagashi Festival, one trader of the village dies mysteriously. It has been so since the dam conflict. Each case was solved individually, but mysterious incidences still happen every year. It makes me wonder if there's some kind of will to all of this. The incomprehensible creepiness gave it the name The Curse of Oyashiro-sama, which fits perfectly. In fact, I always thought The Curse of Oyashiro-sama was just a set of coincidences. The reason is because I strongly believe that Satoshi is the murderer of the case of the 4th year. He is. I don't have any evidence, but I just know it. I know that Satoshi was in a serious predicament last year and that he had nowhere to go. He had no help, but he had to save Satoko as soon as he could. Satoshi thought it through and made the best choice to handle the situation just like I did when I had the problem with Rina. I hesitate to tell Mio that Satoshi is the murderer in the case of the 4th year, so I just listened to her for a while. According to her theory, the series of mysterious deaths isn't just a set of coincidences, but it is instead a series of murder cases. At that point, my theory was completely opposite from hers, but I decided not to cut it. You know about the Oyashiro-sama worship in Hinamizawa, don't you? Takano started telling me that Hinamizawa was once called Onagafuji. She also explained the story of the villagers in the old days, showing me the scrapbook she was proud of. The villagers in the old days were called man-eating demons, but they were also admired as mountain hermits. You know, the one thing I really have to commend the writing on is them not repeating themselves. Because some, lesser writings, or, writers and authors and stuff like that, would just rehash what they've already said instead of just giving the broad overview. Because a lot will just go into the story, we forgot about it. So I appreciate the idea that, hey, we're not stupid, we can follow it, we already know what the past is, so he just gives the broad summary of what it is. So according to your theory, a group of fanatical believers who admire Oyashiro-sama is living in Hinamizawa, and they're trying to show the power of the Oyashiro-sama through the mysterious deaths. Right? Well, no, because fucking Satoshi killed his aunt. There's no way around that. I'm not sure if we should call them fanatical believers or fundamentalists. The line between them is very vague. I'll go fanatical believers for your case. In the Meiji era, when the name of the village was changed to Hinamizawa, the customs and the traditions of Onagafuchi has ended. I think there are some people who want to revive them and regain the name and the fear of Onagafuchi. I doubt Mion does, because she's normal. Mio's theory was very wild, but it was also very stimulating and interesting. At first it was appalling to hear about her theory because it sounded a little too crazy, but after she eagerly showed me the documents she'd been studying, I started to think that her theory wasn't actually too far from being possible. If her theory was true, it would mean that the accidental deaths of Mr. and Mrs. Hojo in the second year, the suicide and the death by the disease of Mr. and Miss Furude in the third year, and the drug addict murderer in the fourth year were all cooked up. It means someone who has a lot of power and influence over the police was involved. Well, Rika actually even mentioned it in the fourth one, that they were killed instead of they fell. So it obviously wasn't an accident. When I pointed that out, Mio nodded in agreement, and then she started talking about how strongly they were rooted in the village and how deeply they were involved with many public organizations. After she finished explaining all that, I finally noticed that Mio was suggesting that the three families, including the Sonozaki family, were the masterminds behind the cases. That's where theory is wrong, because I take Mio at her word in saying that the Sonozaki family isn't involved. I take her at her word. Until I'm proven otherwise, I will trust her 100%. Whatever she says, I will trust it. In fact, the Sonozaki family has a strong power. Very strong power. They hold influence not only over Hinamizawa and Okinamiya, but also the entire Shishibone area. Again, until they can prove me wrong, and prove her wrong, I take her at her word. Because she's extremely truthful, honest, caring, loving, blah blah blah, all the greatness that of her adjectives and her character. But I will take her for her word. Word for word, I will believe her. If she said that they're not involved, they aren't involved. Even if she heard it from her grandmother, I will still believe her. Her grandmother could have been lying to her, but I do believe that's what she said. And thus, I had to take it for its word. And that won't probably ever change, because her character is so well written, they would have to completely rewrite it. In the sense for me not to trust her. Because she hasn't done anything manipulative in a bad way. The only thing she's done is kept information from like Keiichi just to make sure he doesn't like get scared and stuff like that. Which, hey look, that's what a good friend does. Because she was looking out for him. She didn't want him to be, you know, stuck in the crossfire and get paranoid and stuff like that. Which he ended up getting paranoid, of course. And then yelled at her, you know, they're not supposed to keep secrets, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't have been an asshole, Keiichi. Might not even be wrong to say that they even have influence over the prefecture. If the Sonozaki family is behind all of this, her theory gets more realistic. But they're not. But that means I should doubt Mi-chan. I never will. There is nothing they can do. She is not 100% not involved in this case. 100%. Not one of my theories will ever involve her. Never. No, I shouldn't. But in fact, Mi-chan was very cold and unkind to Satoshi when he was going through a tough time. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh, God. It's because she couldn't. If she went against, you know, her fucking grandmother, she would have been punished. Like Shion. And she did rip off her nails because Shion did. For the same thing, because she ended up yelling at her grandmother about it or something. I'm pretty sure she said that. Which, again, She would have probably tried to save them from their aunt and uncle. But she couldn't. Because she also realizes the dynamic of the village and just how it is. In the place she holds in that village, no matter what. And she can't help it. I know there was a conflict between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family during the dam conflict, but still, she was very cold to Satoshi. Not at all. Just because she didn't do every single thing in her power doesn't mean she was cold. There's not one instance where she's been really cold. Because even when she was acting as the next head of the leader with Shion, it wasn't necessarily cold, it was just being more matter of fact. And even then, she was still comforting to her at some points during it, so I mean, not cold. But Michan admitted her sin, and I forgave her too. I don't want to think about this again. I decided to change the subject because I knew it would make me feel uncomfortable if we kept talking about the Sonozaki family. First of all, what is the Oyashiro-sama worship all about? It's a little funny that demons and humans wanted to coexist. Usually in folktales, humans try to wipe out demons. That's right. That's why the worship of Oyashiro-sama is interesting. However, there are actually many stories that say people in old days admired a god. That came from the land of the gods. It's called drifted god worship. There's a number of myths all over the world about the people admiring a god who came from beyond the sea or from the upper rivers. There is? I've never fucking heard of it. First time for me. The gods in those myths are actually people who came from different countries, right? Oh, never mind, I have heard of it. Whoops. Because I was just kind of thinking that in my head. I was like, you know, like the Spanish conquistadors? Whenever they went to like South America and they were treated as gods. Well, South America and Central America. Because, you know, they had shiny stuff. That's the general way of perceiving them. Ancient Japanese culture was way behind the ones of the continents. That's why when the Japanese people in those days saw a foreigner from a developed country in Japan, they admired the knowledge the person had, and they started admiring them as a god. That's one theory. Yeah, too bad I can't go back to ancient Japan time and be worshipped as a god. That'd be fun. I heard that red demons and blue demons were actually foreigners who drifted ashore in Japan because their boats shipwrecked. The Japanese may have created the long-nosed goblins out of foreigners, too. They probably saw a foreigner had a reddish skin with a very long nose. Wow, you have a good point of view, Rena. I agree with you. I think most of the drifted god worships are based on foreigners. But if that's so, the drifted god worship of Onagafuchi has a contradiction. Do you know what it is? Well, that would mean that they weren't really demons but foreigners. No, I don't. It's easy. Onagafuchi isn't an adjacent to the sea. No, yeah. Whoops. Yeah, that too. Oops. Oh, I see. If it's something to do with foreigners, the place has to have a connection to the outer world. In Western countries, the connection is a river that runs from adjacent countries. In Japan, the connection is the ocean. So most of the drifted god worships in Japan originated near the shores. Well, it's possible they could have, like, went through the area without actually being really seen. Trying to find civilization and, like, wandering for, like, days, months on end. Until finding, like, Onagafuchi. That's possible. Isn't there a possibility that a foreigner washed ashore at another place first and then traveled to Onagafuchi? Oh wow, look. That. Well, the thing about the worship of Oyashiro-sama is, it specifically pinpoints Onagafuchi Swamp as the place where the demons appeared. It's semantics. The Onagafuchi Swamp isn't connected to any rivers. They could have, like, waded across it. So how could a foreigner wash up there? That's why it's interesting to seek the mystery of Oyashiro-sama. How much do you know about the legend of Oyashiro-sama? I just read a picture book about it at school. I feel like I know a lot about it, but I actually don't. I just have an extreme fear of the rule not to leave Hinamizawa. Yeah, really a phobia. That's because I believe my life went wrong because I left Hinamizawa. I feel dizzy when I try to think farther, so I stop thinking. That's so weird though. I mean, she's obviously blocking out something. When everything went wrong in Ibaraki, I met Oyashiro-sama, and he told me to go back to Hinamizawa. No. I feel dizzy. Don't try to remember. I can't remember. I got desperate because I felt responsible for the divorce. I just used Oyashiro as an excuse for my mental instability, and I told my father I wanted to go back to Hinamizawa, right? But wait, Oyashiro-sama did come to me. Oh no, it's too bright. I can only remember the vivid color of the pills and the dizziness. No, the red pill! Wake up, Rena. That's all you need to know. The demons came out of Onegafuji Swamp and they attacked the villagers. Oyashiro-sama saw it and came down to save the villagers from the demons by exiling them to hell. The demons cried and the villagers felt bad for them. They decided to let the demons live in the village with them. Oyashiro-sama was impressed by the kind hearts of the villagers, so he gave human forms to the demons and let them coexist. The blood of the demon blended with the villagers as they lived alongside each other. That's exactly what I read in the book. I felt dizzy, like I was going to faint because I touched the memory I didn't want to. People say that most myths are based on an event that happened in old days. What fact do you think is true to this myth? Foreigners came to the area and intermixed with the people there? Because I was still feeling dizzy, all I could do was tilt my head and question. No, but that is a nice way of, like, going through the story, just saying, like, she's having a mental break because that's what she was doing. Brilliant. It seemed like Mio was expecting it, because she smiled, looking satisfied that she successfully made me confused. She took a scrapbook out of her paper bag. Good God, how many does she fucking have? I'll let you borrow this for a while. Thank you, but don't worry, just read it whenever you have some time to kill. Can I not? Ideally, I would just never read it. Because fuck Takano and her weird-ass theories. I want to know what you think about the things written in the scrapbook. I'd like to talk about it, even if you're against my theory, because you're very sharp. Chiro isn't interested in things like this at all, so I really appreciate your company. Yeah, I wonder why he's not fucking into that kind of shit. It's like it's a weird-ass hobby. That most normal people wouldn't want to even talk about. I had little choice but to take the scrapbook. Apparently Mio came to the library often, so I figured I could return it to her whenever I came here to return my books. Ironically, the day I returned the scrapbook to Mio never came. She never came. What's wrong? You don't look good. Are you feeling okay? Oh, I caught a summer cold. I'm still recovering from it. It wasn't the summer cold that was making me feel dizzy. I always get dizzy when I try to remember the time I met Oyashiro-sama in Ibaraki. That's weird as fuck. And it makes me much more hesitant around Rena. I asked her with courage. My memory of the days in Ibaraki is blurry. I know I met Oyashiro-sama. Nobody believed me, and they told me that it was a hallucination. But I thought Mio would listen to me. Mio, can I talk to you about something? Yes, of course. You listened to me, so it's my turn to listen to you. Well, it's about Oyashiro-sama. You might laugh at me. I won't. You didn't laugh at me either. Mio said it in a very gentle and mature way, and then it encouraged me. She starts bursting out fucking laughing. Right as she said, I met him. Ah, loser. Even so, I still hesitated to talk, but there was probably nobody but Mion who I could talk to about something like this. I gathered myself up and started talking. I have met Oyashiro-sama. You have? Yeah. I used to live in Hinamizawa, but until right before I went to elementary school. But my mother got a job in Ibaraki, so we moved. Well, you know what it means, right? Yes, I do. You broke the rule of Oyashiro-sama, which is not to leave Hinamizawa. That's right, and then many things happened. My mother divorced my father and my family was broken. I got desperate and did bad things. It must have been terrible. Then what happened? I started hating everything in this world, and I started to feel like everybody who was happy was looking down on me. That's when the mysterious existences started to appear. You mean Oyashiro-sama? The first time he came to see me was, please don't tell anyone about this. It was when I started destroying myself by hurting my body with a knife. Oh, God. I cut my neck. Oh, good God. Jesus Christ. Oh. Okay, that's a little. Okay. Self-harm is not okay. Especially when you go straight to the neck. It's like, holy, let's just fucking bypass the wrist. Yeah, that's what I was gonna think. Yeah, I just cut myself on the wrist. No, I just went straight to the neck. The fuck? And I cut my neck. Oh my God. You're lucky to be alive. And something very dirty and gross came out with the blood from the wound. It was, I'm not liking this at all. Because I don't want to believe whatever it is. I'm just going to say, nope, wasn't in there. Hallucination. I'm not going to laugh. Go on. The chill I felt at the time came back to me. I sealed that memory so I wouldn't have to remember ever again. Oh, God. I'm gonna throw up, aren't I? But once I unsealed it, I started remembering things one after another. Yeah, the thing was moving in blood. Oh, God. Oh, God. What? It was a clot of dusky red maggots. Oh. Ugh. Oh, God. Nope. 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 Fuck that. Fuck that. Nope. Stop it. You can stop your descriptions right now. Stop. No. Oh, God. You know what? This ups. This notches up the torture of what's her face? Satoko. And then throat cutting. Ugh. Because just the idea. Oh, God. Because I fucking hate maggots. Those are like the one bug I don't want to fuck with. Well, those and spiders and wasps. Because fuck wasp and hornets. Because those things are fucking annoying. Oh, but maggots are just a whole nother level of creepy. But they wanted to stay in my body. Ugh. No. So they crawled back in through the cut. Oh, God, no, please don't. Oh, God. I don't know how I'm gonna finish this. Oh, God. I didn't want the creepy things to get back inside my body, so I clawed at the cut on my neck to get them out. Oh, God. Oh, God. But it hurt so much, and it only made my hands and neck bloody. Ugh. No, thank you. Stop it. Why is it always the fucking neck? Jesus Christ, in every fucking wound. Rika stab wounds, Keiichi clawing out his throat, Tomitake clawing out his throat, fucking Rena clawing out her goddamn throat.